It was not your typical business dinner. The group was a bit more jubilant, bordering on being rowdy. They had just arrived, and you could immediately sense that unlike similar events, the evening was getting off to a fast start. Usually, the excitement builds at these kinds of dinners, but not tonight. The high fives and fist pumps were flying around the room before people took off their coats. Sam Jameson, the sales professional and team leader who had arranged for the team to celebrate their recent success, was glad he had requested a private room. He had a feeling that things could get noisy as the evening moved on. And why not? This was their evening, they earned it. The group looked pretty much like any group of business people that you would see in a restaurant on a weekday night. Whether it's an off-site, a national meeting, or just a group traveling together, dinner is usually part of the agenda. And like any team, there were those who were thrilled to be there, those who attended a bit reluctantly, and the majority who accepted these kinds of events for what they were and did what they could to make it a fun evening. But again, this particular group seemed different. Like any of these dinners, it was another night away from home for those who attended. Sam knew that. So when he sent out the invitations, he was very careful to position this as a celebration, because that is precisely what it was. Dinner had just been ordered when Sam tapped his wine glass a few times with his spoon in an effort to quiet the group down so he could make a few opening remarks. He had been thinking about this moment from the day he received that memorable phone call informing him that they had won the contract. He usually liked to speak extemporaneously at times like these, but from the minute he heard the good news, he knew that this deserved a bit more thought. After all, how often do you hear a client say, "Congratulations, Sam, you won the business and it wasn't even close"? As he tapped on his wine glass for the third time, he was amused at the difficulty he was encountering in trying to get this group to give him attention. They were downright giddy, and it was still quite early in the evening. "Okay, here we go," chortled Frank Prince, the always upbeat R&D manager. "I learned a long time ago that there is no such thing as a free lunch, so I guess we'll have to listen to Sam." The group gave Frank a polite chuckle, and a few people raised their eyebrows, but it did quiet them down. And finally, Sam was able to share his prepared remarks. Surprisingly, in light of the time he put into preparing what he would say, he started with one of those terribly overused cliches. "I could not have possibly accomplished this without you." Nobody said anything, but you could see that in spite of those somewhat patronizing words, he had finally gotten the group to listen. But then he immediately corrected himself. "Let me say that a bit differently. We never could have done this without each other." That got everyone's attention. He continued, "Everyone in this room, and I mean everybody, as well as the few members of our team who couldn't make it tonight, played a significant role in our winning this business. That's what makes this so special. It's not just the size of the contract we won, it's what we did together to win it." That's when even the more skeptical members of the team finally tuned in. But Sam was far from being through. "You know as well as I do that the odds were stacked against us. But we worked together and developed not only what proved to be an incredible proposal, but a presentation that blew our clients out of the water. We won the business hands down. And that's why we are here tonight celebrating this mind-boggling accomplishment." The group spontaneously gave him an enthusiastic round of applause. He then did something quite unusual. He asked each person to look around the room and acknowledge the other members of the team. "Just take a minute and look at your colleagues," he said a bit sheepishly. "Don't say anything. Just look around and see who we are." So they did. It felt a bit awkward, even contrived, and a few people found themselves looking at their shoes as opposed to their colleagues, but most of them appreciated what Sam was trying to do. He wanted everyone to realize what an incredible team effort this was, and he wanted each of them to enjoy every minute of this very special evening.